Hey, welcome to today's session. The market's domination battle is on, and you just can never say never. Every single day in the business ecosystem, the disruptions are happening, and different dynamic and new initiatives that are customer driven are growing on a daily basis. If you're new to this channel, my name is Julius Afolabi. I'm a premium business coach. I help skilled and knowledge-based entrepreneur and organizations to create compatible solutions that get them highly paid with global competitiveness. Right? So today, our subject of conversation is market domination ideologies. Market domination ideologies. Wow. It's the delight of any business organization or individual to become the business leader in their own industry or ecosystem. Right? We have seen the likes of Apple dominating the telecommunications world, and we've seen Zara in its historic reign, and we've seen quite a number of other brands that have dominated the market in their own different niches and industry. But market domination essentially is not domination or having a market share in a territory, but then it is being dominant in the heart of the market, right? Being what? The top of the mind in the mind of the market. Being top of the mind in the mind of the market. That's exactly what market domination is all about. Yes, you could be dominant over a territory in a particular territory. Your product or your brand seem to be the market leader or seem to be a leading brand within a territory, but then you are only dominating the market and having a market share when your brand is top of the mind in the mind of the entire market system. And now this brings me to the famous story between the Swiss and the Japanese business ideology. In the even though the the Swiss wristwatch industry dates back to the 18th century and has grown over time, but then they have always believed in this business ideology of if it is not broken, then you shouldn't fix it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. That was the market ideology of the Swiss, right, as regards the watchmaking industry. And they have done tremendously well over the 18th century, growing into the 19th century. Even after the world wars, post-World War, they were still able to do very, very well. And in the 19th century, even though the Japanese wristwatch making in the watchmaking industry in Japan too was growing underneath, right? But not as much like the Swiss watchmaking industry had dominance in the markets. If you look all around the world today, the Swiss watchmaking companies are dominant everywhere. The Swiss are known for watchmaking, and it was the mechanical kind of watch that was dominant as at that time. But something striking happened in the 1940s. In the 1940s, while the Swiss companies were dominant in the wristwatch making market, their sales were in the realms of the 84 million wristwatches units back then, which began to plummet due to that particular business ideology. What happened was that an inventor, just like the likes of John Ive in Apple's, with fantastic designs that control the market, an inventor came up with the quartz wristwatch, that's the digital wristwatch, and introduced it to the Swiss companies. But the Swiss companies were too confident about their current market design, which was the mechanical kind of wristwatch, the analog kind of wristwatch, right? And they resisted this innovation of the digital wristwatch. And having gone through some of the Swiss watchmaking companies, this inventor, having been convinced that his ingenuity was market research driven, decided to even try some other Swiss wristwatch making companies. But because the Swiss wristwatch companies had this unity of thinking, right? They had like their own community now, and they had laws guiding the community. So the industry within the Swiss territory rejected that particular innovation. Now, this inventor, having that confidence that this innovation is what the market needs at the moment, and having tested and seen the accuracy and the limits, the size and the finesse of the electromagnetic quartz wristwatch, decided to take his invention to the Japanese territory. And the Japanese territory have always maintained the ideology of good products, good thinking, and they embraced this innovation. And having embraced this innovation, because the Swiss were overconfident that their present design, which was prevalent and doing very well, controlled the market, had met the market merits, they thought it didn't require a change. So they rejected the technological change and innovation of that seemingly small inventor. But when the Japanese took over, that embraced that technology and invested so much in that technology, they took over the wristwatch making industry. And that's why we have quartz. Quartz came, even though I said that the Japanese wristwatch or watchmaking industry also has been on for some time. The likes of Citizen and Seiko have been in existence for some time compared to the Swiss wristwatch. So that was what happened. They rejected that technological change because of their business ideology, and that determined their market share and their market domination in the wristwatch making industry. So what is the big lesson for us today in our present day business ecosystem and thinking, or business leadership? This simply means that the business leader of today will simply be the one who is able to know the information that he can trust. That's it. It has to be a discerning leader, right? If you have to be one of the superior quality of the business leader of today would be the ability to embrace market innovation, value innovation, as well as what have this distinctive instinct that is able to identify or know the information to trust. So that was how the Swiss watchmaking industry lost the watch making market share and domination to the Japanese watch. They had invested so much in the technological innovation and controlled a large portion of the market. Well, in the late 1990s, the Swiss wristwatch making companies also sought for a comeback, right? But it was practically too late for them to catch up with the pace at which the Japanese had driven their quartz wristwatch into the heart of the market. So their laid-back mentality and their overconfident mindset was what plummeted their performance in the market and their market leadership. Their business leadership collapsed even when they tried to come back with Swatch. Swatch could not also meet the market preference. Even though it did well for some time, and they lost close to over 40 million US dollars in terms of revenue when they launched that Swatch wristwatch, and their watchmaking industry workforce began to plummet right from when that disruption took place. So in today's business ecosystem, it is actually business unwise to ignore value innovation, technological change, as well as the ability to be able to distinctively identify the information that you can trust. So I don't know what this is for you. I don't know what's happening in your business ecosystem or in your own niche or in your own industry. I beg to let you know that when you have new innovations, it's important to be able to align this new innovation to what the current market behavior, the current customer and consumer behavior towards that particular trend, knowing fully well that human beings are dynamic. The moment they get exhausted with a particular design or a particular taste, they want to see old things done in a new way. And that's just what value innovation is all about. The moment there is a new version of the old version with a competing benefit, then you are already on edge and you're going to be losing your market share. So what is the status of your value innovation in your business? What is the thinking frame of your business leaders in your own organization? What are the new ways in which your customers and your clients expect that you would serve them the value you have always served them? 3 years ago, after the demise of the Apple King, Steve Jobs, right? John Ive, who had been the backbone of the several designs of all the Apple products that has driven the market share and lead and driven Apple's performance in the market to a $1 trillion capitalization, left Apple. Why? Because Apple's new or current leadership is more market or profit oriented rather than design thinking. So, and because John Ive his basic premise was in designs, right? Now, disruptions happen, but it is always dependent on the market or the business ideology of the market leaders or the business leaders or the CEOs. The strategic decision makers in every organization needs to understand the market and the business ideology that powers their current niche. So a lot of people there have been different speculations about how long Apple is going to last with its exit. Well, my own opinion is this: the market determines what happens in business. It is simply the market that determines what happens in business. If John Ives, even though he still works on contract basis with Apple's, if his design thinking is able to create new market behaviors that can drive the market, then we would say that the limitation of ignoring design and focusing on the current market performance might not serve Apple in the long run, right? And so the fact that you have the numbers today does not mean you should ignore what the customer's need and behavior should be. So this is my frame of thoughts for this. I'd like to know what your comments are what your thoughts are in the comments. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, I think this is the best time to do so. And ensure that you click on the notification button if you're going to get more from where this came from. From me to you, I'm Julius Afolabi. Thank you for watching. God bless.